Texas officers find woman's body in trunk after vehicle pursuit. The chase begins. Before we dive into tonight's story, remember, sometimes the truth is darker than fiction. Hit subscribe if you think you can handle the kind of cases that keep detectives awake at night. Now, let's go down this road together, the one that started with a simple traffic stop and ended with a nightmare in the trunk. It was a humid Sunday morning just outside Beaumont, Texas. The kind of day when the air feels thick, when the roads shimmer under the heat, and the smell of gasoline clings to the wind. Highway 105 was nearly empty, just the distant hum of engines and the occasional chirp of cicadas from the trees. Then, around 8:37 a.m., a Texas State Trooper, Officer Ray Delgado, clocked a silver Nissan Altima speeding past at nearly 95 miles per hour. Nothing unusual, until the driver refused to pull over. Delgado flipped on his sirens. The red and blue lights cut through the morning glare. The Nissan swerved, hesitated for a split second, then suddenly accelerated. "What the hell?" Delgado muttered, pressing down on the gas. Dispatch confirmed the license plate, registered in Houston. Owner, Victor Campbell, Jr. No outstanding warrants, no prior offenses, just another name. Until this chase began. As the pursuit continued, something about the car's movement bothered Delgado. It wasn't the reckless speed. It was hesitation. The driver didn't weave through traffic like a confident runaway. Instead, he jerked between lanes, slowing at random intervals, like someone who was arguing with himself behind the wheel. The trooper radioed ahead. "Unit 214 in pursuit. Suspect heading westbound on 105. Speeds over 90. Possible DUI." Another patrol unit joined from an intersecting road, lights flashing. Together they boxed the Nissan in. The driver's side window was tinted dark, too dark to see who was inside. But as the car slowed near a church parking lot, Delgado caught a glimpse in his rear mirror. A man's profile, sweat glistening on his face, talking to someone in the back seat. Except there was no one visible. The Nissan veered sharply, cutting across two lanes, nearly clipping a pickup truck. Tires screamed. Then came the crash. A brutal, echoing collision as the Nissan slammed into a light pole near St. Mary's Baptist Church. Smoke drifted up from the hood. Delgado and the second trooper approached cautiously, weapons drawn. The driver stumbled out. Mid-30s, African-American, blood trickling from a cut above his brow. His hands shook as he raised them. "Stay where you are," Delgado ordered. "I didn't do anything," the man stammered. I didn't kill her." Those words hung in the air like static. The officers exchanged looks. "Who are you talking about?" Delgado asked, keeping his weapon trained, but the man's eyes darted toward the car, specifically the trunk. The troopers moved in. The smell hit first, sharp, metallic, unmistakable. Delgado's stomach turned. The odor of decomposing flesh was something you never forget. It seeped into the air like a curse. They popped the trunk. Inside lay a woman wrapped in a white sheet, duct tape around her wrists and mouth, dark bruises on her neck. Her skin had taken on that grayish hue that tells officers a truth they don't want to face. She'd been dead for hours, maybe longer. The parking lot went silent, except for the faint hiss of steam from the Nissan's engine. Delgado backed away slowly, his jaw clenched. The driver, Victor Campbell Jr., began to cry. "She didn't deserve it," he whispered. "I didn't mean to. I just needed time to think." As backup arrived, they cuffed him and read his rights. Neighbors from nearby houses peeked out, their Sunday calm shattered by flashy, neon lights and yellow tape. A church bell rang in the distance. 12 slow tolls that felt like a countdown. Inside the trunk, investigators found an ID near the woman's shoulder. Brianna Tira Johnson, age 28, from Houston. A small cross necklace rested beside her. The way the sheet was wrapped around her body, careful, deliberate, suggested something personal. Not a random act. Someone had cared enough to cover her, but not enough to save her. Detective Elena Morales, one of the lead investigators from the Beaumont PD, arrived within the hour. She had seen her share of tragedy: overdose victims, domestic homicides, even a cartel body dump outside Jefferson County. But something about this scene felt off. No sign of struggle in the car, no fingerprints besides Campbell's, no blood spatter, except for faint streaks near the trunk latch. It was as if someone had cleaned the car, or planned for this. By noon, news vans had already begun circling. Body found in trunk after police chase blared across local headlines. Social media filled with speculation. Some called it domestic violence. Others whispered darker theories, that Brianna had been involved in something criminal, that Victor was covering for someone else. At the station, Campbell sat in the interrogation room, eyes vacant, fingers tapping against the metal table. "She just wouldn't stop," he said quietly. "She said she was leaving, said she was done with me. I didn't want it to happen like that." Morales leaned in. "Did you kill her, Victor?" He shook his head slowly. "No, but I know who did." The tape recorder clicked. Morales exchanged a glance with her partner. "Then tell me who." Victor exhaled sharply, his voice trembling. "She was seeing someone else. A man she met at work. He said he'd take care of her, but when she disappeared, he called me. Told me to get rid of the body." Morales frowned. "You expect me to believe that?" He looked up, eyes bloodshot. "Check her phone. You'll see his name." That was the first real lead. The phone, however, wasn't at the scene. It wasn't in the car. It wasn't on Brianna. It was gone. Back at the crash site, technicians combed through the wreck. They found Brianna's purse, torn open, but no phone. They found a receipt from a motel in Port Arthur, time-stamped at 2:13 a.m., 6 hours before the chase. Morales's instincts flared. This wasn't a spontaneous crime. This was carefully timed. Someone wanted Brianna dead, and Victor to take the fall. Later that night, as detectives traced the receipt to the motel, the clerk confirmed a couple matching Victor, and Brianna's description had checked in, but they weren't alone. Another man had joined them, wearing a dark hoodie and gloves. No record of his name, but he paid cash. Security cameras at the motel's side entrance had been conveniently offline that night. By 11 p.m., Morales returned to her office, exhausted. She replayed the dashcam footage of the chase. Something caught her eye during a sharp turn. When the trunk briefly popped open, a gloved hand seemed to press it shut from inside. She froze the frame, zoomed in. If that hand wasn't Brianna's, then who the hell was in that car?